Yes, people, and welcome back to Normski TV and the What's Going On podcast. Please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new on the road, as I said, to 300. Last week we had a few new people come into the chat, so that was really interesting. So hopefully they'll be in the chat, hopefully, and be come back to this community. And let's talk all things football. It's been a great week of football for some people. For some, it's been frustrating, like us yesterday. But there's quite a lot to actually get through. So we are gonna move swiftly into the show. Let me just put my phone up so that I can see what I've got. Yeah, and just turn off me. Just 2 seconds, people, as I sort myself out. I always do this every week. Let me just make sure that my screen is on. Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're all good. We're all good. We're all good. And So guys, welcome back to the chat, the What's Going On podcast. As I said, lots to talk about. Please smash that like button, subscribe and share if you're new on the road to 300. And I've got my guests, I'll say guests, sitting in the back room. Kofi and Ezra are not on tonight for whatever reason, but thanks for getting back to us and that. And obviously Chile, I haven't heard anything from Chile, so he may well be on tonight. It all depends. But listen, without further ado, I am going to get Mr. Big D in. Our holiday cruiser, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? It was away for 2 weeks. We definitely, the people in the chat definitely missed you. The people in the community definitely missed you. It was quite strange, you know what I mean? Because you're pretty much one that's been there, wherever the weather. But yeah, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing good, man. Yeah, I'm feeling rested. I went back to work last night and straight into a ball, which was mad.
Right.
And proper quarter shot because I've been off since the 14th of December. So,
okay.
Yeah, that hit me hard, boy.
So it was a bit of a
culture shock.
Culture.
The reality set back in that I'm home. It's raining. It's cold. The winter sun just drifting away.
So how was one's trip?
The cruising was good. I was saying to you earlier that I was trying to I bought my tablet so I could jump on, because you were getting good signal when you were docked on whatever island. But then I said to you that the night I'm going to come on is the night he decides he's going early, and I'm like, unbelievable. Because like I say, like most nights we've gone to dinner a bit later, and having dinner like 8:30, and we were still in dock, or just get ready to leave at 8:30, 9 o'clock. But at 10 to 5 on that particular Wednesday, this guy decides that I'm going to get out of here for whatever reason was going on. And then we end up, and then you're only going to get a signal for the first maybe 6 minutes going out, and then that's it. It's dead after that, So then, and what they wanted to charge you was like 20 quid a day.
It's crazy.
Just to use the internet to use the marine internet, and I was like, that's a total waste of money.
Has that always been the case?
Yeah, I think in general, but you see, this is the first time we've done a European cruise. We've always done cruises, Caribbean and American side of the world. So this was with P&O, and for whatever reason, they were trying to rip you off every which way possible. Yeah. Even though, the ship was nice, the cruise was nice, the food, everything. But certain things you were like, nah, man, this is a bit rip-off. So I decided that if I'm not in dock, then I'm not going to do it, you know what I mean? And then I did have phone issues for the first couple of days. EE tried to, they disarmed something on my phone. So even though I paid for data, I wasn't getting any. Yeah, right. So it was a mad one. Yeah, the first couple of days trying to get technology working while you're on the road, say how, just to reach out to people at Christmas and stuff like that. But cruising in the sun is definitely something.
So where did it take you then? Where did you
So we were Tenerife, Madeira, which is Ronaldo's island. Believe it or not, Madeira has got the whole.
Did you get to go to his house and get a drink with
Nah,
him and everything?
Shino goes, oh, you should go to the museum. I said, which part? My money? Nah, bruh, I ain't doing that. But people were queuing to go into his museum. Yeah, he's got the museum on the island of Madeira.
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's where he was born. So he's got a
Yeah.
proper CR7 museum. So there people
Yeah,
was
they
queuing to
proper
go in.
love him there, don't they? They proper love him there.
Yeah, he's a cool hero, man. He put them on the map, so fair enough, you know.
Yeah.
And then we were La Palmas, Fuerteventura. So yeah, we did a few stops, man. Did 5 stops.
Yeah,
So
and
it was nice,
the weather was absolutely.
yeah, we had one day, a little bit drizzly. That was it. Out of the 9 days, out of the 9 days. So no complaints here, bro.
9 days at sea, man.
Yeah, man. It was good, man. Yeah.
No,
I'll do it again. I mean, like I say, this is the first time we cruised like the Mediterranean side.
Yeah,
with the Caribbean Sea and all that.
Yeah.
US Virgin Islands, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
that was our third cruise. We met a couple that had done 18 cruises. I'm like, yeah, that's mad. So they're proper versed in it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we went on our first cruise. We did a European one, and there was this couple. They'd been on about 20 cruises. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's some people that actually literally live on the boat.
I mean, he was naming cruise liners I never even heard of, like cruise companies. Sorry, that I never even heard of. I have to Google them and like, okay,
yeah.
But yeah,
well, listen, I mean, listen, they, lifetime friendships and stuff like that.
Man. It's good. It's good.
Listen, if you got the money, why not enjoy it? You know what I'm saying?
Had to do it. I felt like, well, it'd been over 3 years since I travelled, so it was like, I've got to get out of here.
It was much needed.
Yeah,
much needed. But yeah, man. For myself, obviously, you might wonder where I am. It probably doesn't look like the usual background.
Yeah, I was looking actually. Yeah, I was thinking, where's Norman at?
Right. So let me just sort of just share with the community and everybody else. Obviously, my dad hasn't been keeping too well, since his 95th birthday last year, he had an accident where he sort of fell over, hit his head, and he'd been in hospital for a few months and then he's ended up in a care home, and it's in the hospitals sometimes it was touch and go. But thank God, he came through that situation. Obviously now he's currently in a care home, and I'm just asking the people in the community just remember him in prayers. We are a faith believing family, very strong family together. Just big up to my sister Kay, if she's watching. I think she's in the other room. So just to let you know, I'm actually doing this from my dad's care home, and I needed to be here, because doctors and nurses will say things, and so I'm sure yes, Mr. Ez is in the chat. Big up to Ez.
So it's big on yourself, bro.
So I thought, why not just do the show from here? So I've been here basically. Big up to Ian, and I know Ian has got prayers for my dad. I'll talk with Ian today.
Big up, man.
So big up to you, man. So I'm currently in care. I'm not gonna say where, but so just prayers to him, for him, please. Not through the woods yet, but he's 95, good stint and everything. You know what I mean? So listen, thank you, Ez, man. Appreciate that. To Daddy Johnson, big up to my dad. Big inspiration in my life, you know what I mean? And just let me share this one thing about my dad. I was sharing it with my dad and reminding him. And I used to, obviously, if you don't believe it or not, I used to play football as well, but not at semi-pro level. But I remember going to a football game on a Saturday afternoon, left out the house, all intact and everything. Came back home with a sprained ankle. And you know these Jamaicans, you know what I was going to say to you? He said, and if anybody doesn't realize in the chat, he said, no, man, why is it that there's 22 man on a pitch kicking around a bugger wind. That's my dad for you. But listen, despite all of that, he's always allowed me to do, the things that I wanted to do. He's always been behind me in terms of football, in terms of athletics, in terms of music and all of that. So really appreciate him. And, he's just such a inspiration and a patriot to the Johnson family. So big up to my dad. And as I said, please be sending out prayers for him. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's all good. So I'm kind of glad that I'm here doing the show from here. And, so if, not to say that's going to happen, but if I suddenly disappear off the screen, pray God that that's not going to be the case. Anyway, look, let's crack on with the show. And we've got obviously our usual Prem review and player ratings. There's been a lot of games played over the last couple of weeks, especially during the Christmas period. And so we've got a lot to get through. We've got Ref Watch, maybe some controversial decisions that have gone past this week. I mean, I don't even want to talk about yesterday in terms of the referee. He was just giving out yellow cards like confetti.
Yeah, it was a mad one that was, wasn't it?
And I think, I'm not saying that that's the reason why we drew the game against Newcastle, because I felt that they came with a game plan. But at the end of the day, there were two blatant, decisions that should have gone our way. Arteta was not happy at all. He was basically saying it was scandalous decisions. But at the end of the day, it just shows that we need players that, you looked at the bench. There wasn't really much you could do in terms of taking anybody off the bench to change the game. He only did a like-for-like swap with Ben White and bringing on our Japanese player. And you're thinking to yourself, well, how is he going to come on and, change the game? Do you know what I'm saying? If you do hear noise in the background, that's just nurses talking and stuff like that. So please forgive me, people. But yeah, he decided that Tomiyasu was going to be the one to come on and replace Ben White. Maybe Ben was probably, not saying he was injured or nothing. He looked a little bit, he was blowing a little bit. So, but I'm hoping and praying that we do something. Yes, big up Craig, man.
Yes, Craig, love yourself, bro.
Yeah, man, good to have you back in the show, bro. So we are going to be looking at some of the refereeing decisions. Also, top 4 race. Who's going to miss out, Big D? Who is going to miss out? I noticed that a certain red and white team with the yellow writing in the background are doing a little thing there. So listen, that's going to be really interesting. They're on a bit of a roll. Mr. Rashford is on a bit of a roll as well. Yeah. Seems like he's getting the best out of your right back, Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. I know you was a little bit. Yes, I know yesterday you was putting in a chat that you wasn't too sure about the back four. What's going on with that?
Yeah, but I realised he had to rotate them.
Obviously, because you've got this Friday. I think this Friday you've got your FA Cup game, haven't we? Third round. Yeah. I
can't even think you were playing. It's too much going on. I can't. I got to Google that and see. We'll check on the chat and see what's going on there.
Thanks,
but yeah, you if you saw the end of the game, the second half, we was getting peppered, man. They were at sea a little bit, that back four, because they haven't played together much. So and you can actually see that because you got David. You got David Gales.
Is it me that's frozen or D is frozen? Someone's frozen. Hopefully we'll get you back.
I think you're frozen on my screen. Oh, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, I think it's D. I think we lost D. I think we just lost you there for a second. Yeah, you're back now. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's my end because obviously I'm using their Wi-Fi. So
yeah, you froze on my screen.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know what's happened, but listen. So guys, please forgive us if we are freezing. Please forgive us. Please forgive us. But yeah. So what you say, D? We lost you there.
Yes. The second half we were getting absolutely peppered. And I think that was just those back four not playing together for a while. But he had to do what he had to do at the end of the day. And in the end, he ended up shoring it up towards the end of the game. You know what I mean? So to keep the clean sheet with be honest with you, I call it the Ollie back four. That was the Ollie back four he started last night, which I never wanted to see again. Be honest with you, I never wanted, but I get it. It's a long season. Cup game on Friday. He's got to use that squad, otherwise you're going to get injuries, aren't you? And we got a few injury-prone players as well. So I get that you got to protect them. But we come out unscathed and stay in the top four, which like I say, in a rebuild, I'm not going to complain with that. No, I might be a fool to complain about that we're hanging on to the fourth spot because he's trying to rebuild.
The thing is, you didn't really expect. Did you really expect to see yourself in that position?
No, you remember I said 6. I said I'd take 6 at the start of the season. If he's got, if he's saying that he needs a good 8 to 9 players to rebuild, then he got 4. Right, he got 4 in the summer.
Yeah,
and then obviously Ronaldo, losing Mason, obviously Cavani as well. So a few went out, but I mean, he's doing what he's been paid to do at the end of the day. 1, to steady the ship, 2, to get some momentum, and for us to stay disciplined, play disciplined football. Because he wasn't happy at 3-0. He wasn't happy.
No.
Because he was like, he said the goalkeeper shouldn't be having to work that hard to keep us in a game. And he's right. He's right. So defensively, and I think everyone knows that's not his defense of choice. That's his defense of necessity.
And
I've got to play these guys tonight,
So Lissandro's back now, because I know obviously the World Cup exploits, and Varane was on the bench as well. But so
you know what? There was a nice touch that they did. They allowed Lissandro to come on, walk to the middle of the Old Trafford pitch with his World Cup medal, and get the plaudits, right? And Mourinho never allowed Pogba to do that. When he weren't having it, Mourinho weren't having it.
Right.
But this class manager showed some class there. Says Cassandra, put that medal around your neck, go out on the pitch, and let 70,000 chant your name, Argentina, whatever. And I thought that was a nice touch before the game, And he wasn't starting, Norman. He was on the bench, but he still allowed that. And it just shows you the class in managers. When Pogba went in, it was like, nah, I give him Pogba and put this on Trafford, sod that. So, I tip my hat to Eric Ten Hag for that. I think that was a lovely touch. And now back to business, because honestly, it's intense. This whole top 6, whatever it is
and
mad, Norm.
and that's why I said that this top 4 race, who will miss out. So we will be discussing that in a little bit more depth as well. Transfer rumors, we know. The review, we want to see who's declaring anything to declare. Ourselves, we're linked with Luka Modric, so say Modric from Shakhtar Donetsk, and but Chelsea are looking to try and scupper that. So I'm not too pleased about that, Ezra. Yeah, it looks like you guys want to buy up everybody. You're linked with Fernandez, £105 million buyout clause, but then Chelsea not willing to go. Yes. Big but he's not willing to. They're not willing to go to the buyout clause. I think they want to do it like in installments. But I think with the buyout clause, I think you're meant to just pay up all the money in once. I don't know if there's any kind of like pay. I think they want to do what they call like a pay structure. You know what I mean?
There normally is a payment plan in most of these big deals now. But I suppose it depends on how strapped for caps the releasing team is. If they say, well, you're buying out the clause in the contract, we need all our money up front, then that may need to happen, you know what I mean? So that they can spend the other way. But normally, normally, if it's anything over 50 mil, normally, then there's normally a 3-year installment plan or thereabouts, you know? Obviously it's money up front. So, but
I mean, on that, Craig, but Arsenal need to pull out their finger, because Chelsea are going on like, you know what I mean? Big up Jay. He's saying,
hey Jay.
They're going on a bit stink right now, you know what I mean? And they just seem like they're doing this bully boy tactic thing. And they're looking to try and gazump us. Arsenal have already had a second bid rejected. How
much they want for a Norm?
They're looking anywhere up to 85 million to 88 million. I mean, they're trying to say
January,
in January, but what they're trying to say is that Modric is on par with the likes of Grealish, the likes of Anthony from your club. But you overpaid for Anthony, because I don't believe Anthony's worth that kind of money anyway.
Nah,
You know what I'm trying to say?
and he's not pulling up trees either.
Yeah.
He
You know
should
what I
be
mean?
pulling up trees on that kind of money. Yeah.
I really don't know. For me, I really don't know what the game is with Chelsea. It just seems like they're on a stockpile, by the way. You know what I mean? It just seems like it's a stockpiling thing going on with them. So
but that doesn't help.
We'll just have to wait and see.
That doesn't help Graham Potter to find his best 11 when he just keep throwing plays at him.
Well, that's the problem, and that is the problem with Chelsea, because it's obviously Todd Bowley wants to go down this route of getting young players in and hoping that Potter can develop them, but at the same time, and Todd Bowley and the Chelsea hierarchy are going to give him the time as well. To do that, because it's a process, it's a project for them, and so they want to start doing away with the older players and start going for a more younger profile. Tony is on a ban, not easy to buy him, I think. I mean, he will eventually be on a ban. I mean, but as I said, Tony, is it second or third highest? I think he's the third highest goal scorer with 12 goals, and obviously he wasn't needed in the Brentford 3-1 game. I thought that was going to be a bit of a tricky one, but we'll talk about that when we talk about the fixtures as well. And
you see, with Tony, Norm, they maybe look. He could be looking at 6 months, Norm, and it may be 6 playing months rather than the 6 months in the summer and all that. It may be season starts 6 months. So that doesn't help anyone buying him. That certainly doesn't help Brentford. If they do think about they want to sell him, club captain as well. So that hurts. You know what I mean?
That's the only thing that's hanging over him. So come the summer, our football teams, are they going to take a gamble on that, or they're going to, you know what I'm saying? Are they going to say, well, look, we can take that hit, you know what I mean? Because he's a good player. We all know that, you know what I mean? But, will they do that? What about for him? He's available. Yeah. He did well for France. But, I mean,
he's been linked to us.
He's okay, but he's not. Do you know what I mean? He's okay, but I don't know. Palace to beat Tottenham 2-1 tonight. That's what Craig. I hope that is the case. I hope that is the case. You're talking about Thuram Junior. We know what you're talking about.
I think there's a U in there. I think it's THURN. THURN, something like that.
I mean, he did okay for France, but I don't know whether he'll be able to step up to the plate.
But it's been linked to us as well, though, Norm.
Listen, I mean, at the moment, Man United. Yeah, I mean, with the situation with Man United going, you're skint at the moment as it stands.
Proper skint, bro.
So you're not going to be able to go and buy a player. It's more like loan deals, and João Felix is on your radar, just like he's on our radar. But I think both teams,
so what they want for him?
I know, that's what I'm trying to say. 21 million. Do you know what I mean? So I think,
and that's just for the 6 months, I
know. That's including
no options. There's no option to buy.
Nah.
You're gonna give a man 21 million.
I don't know. I mean, Arsenal will probably talk with him, concerning that. And just on going on any other business, Ronaldo open to break records at his new club. I thought I'd throw that one in.
This guy.
Yeah, man. Mr. Ronaldo on 100. What is he on a year? 160 million a year? Is it something like that?
But he said he's nothing to prove. No, that's why he's gone there. He said I could have gone anywhere in the world, but I got nothing to prove now, so I'm going here.
Yeah.
But I thought you were chatting about
loads of European clubs were still in for him.
One.
How true that was, I don't know.
One club.
Yeah. I mean,
Porto.
Jamie Carragher pretty much hit it on it. I can't. This is not quote for quote, but Jamie Carragher basically turned around and said, Messi's legacy is that he's gone home from the World Cup with a World Cup medal and the World Cup title. Ronaldo's legacy is he had an interview with Piers Morgan.
Right.
Right. There you have it.
It's,
there you have it.
He said his work is done in Europe. I've won everything. I played for the biggest clubs. I've won everything. My work is done here. But that's not what he was saying a few months ago. He was saying that
Exactly. And did you see the press conference? The journalists all sued. So they all shouted at Sue in the press conference.
Oh, I missed that one.
And do you know what? I don't know if this is. I think he's actually scored already for Al Nassr, and he took off his shirt and he did his Sue.
Did he?
So I don't know if it was a friendly or it was an actual, league game. I don't know. Arteta doesn't trust Fabio Vieira. We paid 35 million and he never came off the bench last night. And this is the thing is, he needed to bring somebody off to just, listen, for me, Vieira, there's still a way to go on him with Vieira. And, but he's an attacking player, but he decides that he's going to bring in another defender. Listen. I'm not saying that Newcastle were there for the taking, because for the first 15, 20 minutes, we should have dealt with them. But we just couldn't break them down. Newcastle are a very hard team to break down. They've got the best defensive record in the league with 11 goals only conceded. 9 clean sheets. So it was going to be a tough ask. And they only came there to put 11 men behind the ball. If they were going to get anything from the game, it was either to hit us on the break or get us. And that didn't really happen. I think it was really, if they were going to score, it would have been from a set piece, basically.
Yeah. I know, I think a few of our teams slept on Nick Pope. I spoke about Nick Pope in the summer, and I was saying we should go get him. And people are like, nah, because Henderson ain't it for me. And I just think that, well, I'm saying that the goalkeeping coaches work with David De Gea, but I just fancied Nick Pope, and I'm watching him now, and I'm saying, man, that would have been a good shout in the summer, but not to be, mate. And Newcastle,
I just want to tackle this one here, and I read this as well. It was also in the Sun. Now, obviously, you got to sometimes take the Sun with a pinch of salt, but Air Junior is saying, and Craig has said it down here as well. He says, Ronaldo has some kind of link with Newcastle. If Newcastle qualify for the Champions League, I read it on Sky. I hope that's not the case. That they can take him. All right.
Well, he's been.
It's been written. Apparently, it's been written
into his contract. Yeah, and so the team he plays for, that family owns Newcastle as well.
Right. Okay. Right.
So that's the link. So there's no loss for the team.
Yeah. Eddie Howe was questioned on this pre-match, and he basically distanced himself from that. He said, "No, that's not the case." So.
You can't say that, though. You can't say that, mate.
He can't say that. Now, at the end of the day, my man is still hanging on for glory, man. He's just like last strings, you know what I mean? Can you imagine? And we have to watch his space, because if Newcastle do qualify for Champions League, we have to watch his space.
Back in a white and black t-shirt.
Can you imagine?
He's no longer a Man United legend if he pulls that stunt.
Can you imagine? Absolutely ridiculous. And obviously, we're going to be talking about this game. we're going to be talking about the what's going on prediction league table to end the show. But let's quickly go over the games that took place. So last week, Wednesday, game week 17, Leeds against Man City. Man City coming out winners, 3-1 winners in that game. For the first 45 minutes or so of that game, Leeds held them until Rodri, I think it was Rodri, got the goal just before half-time. And then obviously Mr.
I was watching this game on the ship, Norm.
Right.
This game on the ship, because there's Leeds fans on the ship, So a lot of Leeds fans on the ship, and some Man City fans as well.
Yeah.
So we should have watched that in one of the sports.
Erling Haaland getting his 2 goals. Now, if I'm right, that's 21 goals.
Already.
Well, this would have been 20 goals because he scored. Did he score? Sorry, this game here. Was there another game played after this one? Yes, he did. He played against Everton. So I think the Everton game, when he scored that goal, would have made it 21 goals in 16. This is unbelievable by a player. He's an absolute monster. Yeah. I think you were saying it earlier on when he first came, and with the way his scoring rate, that he could be possibly pushing 40 plus goals. We're talking.
And the thing is, if you manage to keep into 1 goal a game, even there, thanks, Jay. Yeah. Even there, 1 goal a game, he's still going to break records, and it's mad.
It's going to break records. It's going to break records.
He's got another 18 games to go?
Yeah.
And he's about to get a brace or a hat trick in one of them 18 as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So
sorry about this. Yeah. So Leeds obviously playing at home, come out, losing that game 3-1. Then we moved to the Friday, which was then the start of game week. The start game week 18. West Ham v Brentford. Now, listen, I think David Moyes' job, he's under a lot of pressure. I was talking to my nephew, who was a big West Ham supporter. Funny enough, he was here earlier on today, and we was talking about West Ham, and he was asking about, what do you think? Who's the problem here? Is it David Moyes? Is it the players? Is it on? And just to say, I think Craig put it in the chat earlier on. Rest in peace, David Gold.
I saw that.
Today.
Yeah,
he passed away.
So it's still it was a corona.
But I think he was, from what I understand, he was suffering from a long illness.
Right.
So rest in peace on that. Wow. But West Ham, mate, 2-0 to Brentford, and West Ham just didn't offer nothing in that game. Ivan Toney getting his goal, and I think it was in that game that he got. I think it was in that game that he got injured. Was it that game he got injured? I think it was that game that he got injured. I think defending a corner, and I think he came down and either jarred his knee, and they wheeled him off on a, what you call it, one of them beds figures.
Stretcher.
And like, you're thinking to yourself, mate, this guy looks like he could be out for a little while. But then apparently I'm hearing that wouldn't surprise me if Frank Lampard will take over from. Interesting. I mean,
they want to stay as far as possible from Lampard.
If we're talking about sackings, mate, I don't know. Out of Frank Lampard and David Moyes, I mean, look what Brighton did to them yesterday. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. But in that game, Ivan Toney scoring that game in the 80th minute, and then Joseph Silva in the 43rd minute, an assist from Ivan Toney as well. So they win that game 2-0, and then Liverpool-Leicester. Now this is an interesting game. This was a very interesting game, and just to let you know, in this game, Liverpool did not score. Right. So just for the record, Jay, Kofi, and any Liverpool supporters in the chat, you had Mr. Wyas, or whatever his name is, who is a lookalike of what's the goat, David Luiz. What was he doing? Yeah. What was he doing for the first one?
Yeah,
the keeper's called and said it's his ball. He swiped at it, and it's literally just looped up in the air and ended up in the back of the net. Then the second own goal, which was unbelievable. Nunes is in on goal. He chips it. It hits the I think it was the post. Comes off the post. My man, that was, listen, the worst nightmare. That's happened. Apparently, they were saying about who it's happened to. I know it's happened to Jamie Carragher, where there's a few players where they've scored 2 goals in the same game. You know what I mean? So he's joined that band of unfortunate. Yeah. Yes, we did, but it didn't count. What I've been saying about Brighton for weeks, watch them. They are not a bad side at all. Well, we slapped them 4-2, so you know what I mean. But listen, they are a good side. Saying that, they were without McAllister and Casado. But listen, you got to beat what's in front of you. But they really turned over.
But I'll tell you, it's for them, Trossard.
Yeah.
Some of them seem to have gone down with him. He just seemed to have lost form. It's like, bro, what's going on with you?
Yeah.
He was balling out at the start of the season. And,
Yeah,
and he
definitely
was
a lot.
making them
Yeah,
relevant. Trossard, but
yeah.
something's gone on there
So
with
many
him.
clubs, so many clubs after him.
Yeah.
We move on to Wolves at home to Man United.
Yeah.
Rashford. Now, was it in this game? Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it this game where he was disciplined and he came
Yes.
off the bench?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he overslept and missed all the meetings. But the thing is, they would have travelled up to the Midlands the night before. So surely they're all in the same hotel.
Yeah.
So surely somebody knocks his door and says, Marcus, get up. I don't get it. I don't get how he missed the meetings and all that.
Yeah.
Unless he wasn't there, unless he travelled the same day to the game.
Yeah.
So that means he didn't travel up with the team. He might have had another commitment to do and asked for permission to travel up the day of the game and overslept and missed all the meetings. So it's like, well, you're not playing it. You're not starting. You can't be missing the meetings if you ask for that.
Listen, Ten Hag is laying down the law and everything.
Yeah.
Some people say, what was the point of him? It's either you just don't start him at all, or do you know what I mean? What was the point of, you know what I mean? The punishment was for him to sit on the bench, but some people were saying, I don't know.
The thing is, I'm actually okay with that, right? Because it sends a message across the board that if we've got a team meeting to decide how we're going to set up, and I'm picking a team in that team meeting, and you're not there, then you're not privy to what I want from this game. Because as every game, you have to adjust the teams now. You can't just go out and play how you play for every single match, because it's not. Some teams sit in the low block. Some teams play the high press. So he's going to pick that team and that. So if he's missed all that, and to say, you have to remember, like, he's probably got a driver, security, his girlfriend or fiance now. And so what? So what? None of them four can wake him up. That don't make any sense. Like this, something ain't right there. But
I mean, in the post,
he said he overslept.
Yeah, I mean, in the post-match conference, I mean, listen, it was good to see a big smile on his face. He's in full because he just said, "Look, I overslept. It's no drama. We go again."
Yeah,
comes on 76th minute, gets the goal.
Yeah,
bam. And he's the player right now that's in form for Man United.
And I think that was disappointing that he did oversleep because the thing is, it's like anything. If he say he turned up 2 hours late and Ten Hag started him, what message that sent to the rest of the squad? Yeah. It's like, hold on.
Yeah. I think some fans some people were saying you just should have just dropped him completely.
No, there's no need for that.
No.
I think that's too far.
Yeah.
He's just saying, Marcus, I can't start you. You've missed all the meetings. I've picked the team now, and you're just getting in. So I'm going to put you on a bench, and we'll see how we go. And you'll get a run in the second half if we need you. I'm happy with that. But if he had started him, because it tells everyone else, like, hold on, he's practically gave probably a bit of a port-by story about oversleeping, and now he's in the starting lineup. The rest of them on the bench are going, Ten Hag's on a poppy show here. So Ten Hag don't win either way. He doesn't win either way. So what he did by benching him and bringing him on the second half, I'm fine with that.
Yeah,
they've got the discipline. You got to be on time. Yeah. It's your job. You get paid $300,000 a week to get out of bed on time and get to a meeting. And so,
agree with
that. He is Junior, exactly. Yeah. We've been too slack since Fergie's been gone. This is exactly how Fergie ran that ship. Like, no one's bigger than me at this club. Do as you're told, otherwise you're going to hold bench. And everyone else is, Ollie's had his favourites. Mourinho's just picked the old players that he loves. And where's he got us? A few trophies in 10 years. Not Champions League, not a league.
Wolves, I mean, obviously with their new manager and everything. And I was watching that game, and I think the thing with Wolves, it's just their end product, and they just haven't got anybody.
They're hard to break down.
They're hard to break down, but what they do at the other end. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And my thing
Jimenez,
right?
Yeah.
The other thing as well, he took off Diego Costa, right? And he brought on what's the player, the big greasy muscle guy? What's his name?
Oh,
the winger.
Yeah. I know
what's his name?
What's
his name? I can see. Listen, you know what I'm talking.
Yeah.
He brought him on. Yeah. Adam Traore, that's it. Yeah, the Dama Traore.
Yeah, he puts the baby all on his arms, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So
What I was looking at that game, I was thinking, Adama's getting down the flanks and he's putting in these crosses. Those would have been decent balls for Diego Costa because he takes him off there. Now they've got no target.
He seems kind of washed though, Norm.
Who's that?
Costa. He kind of seems washed.
I know he seems lost, but what I'm trying to say is, whilst he was playing at that particular point, there was nobody giving him any service.
No, but the thing is, he subbed off Traoré for Costa. So it's not like Traoré came off someone else. He took Costa off and brought on Adama Traoré to play.
Yeah, I know that, but that's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Because because when Traoré came on, he was putting those crosses in the boxes.
Yeah, he's a handful.
There was no one to really put it away, and then he brought on Jimenez towards the end. I don't know what's happening with that. You know what I mean? It's a bit of a.
He hasn't been right since that head injury, has he, Jimenez?
Yeah, no, he hasn't.
Yeah, he hasn't been the same player since that. Because I think before the head injury, he was a handful of a striker. He was getting.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And the Nuno. Nunes,
definitely.
Nuno.
Yeah.
But since that injury and he's come back, he just looked a shadow of himself now. You know.
Yeah.
But like you say, they get a 2020 season striker, 20 goal a season striker. Then Wolves can be a handful because they defend.
Oh
very
yeah,
well.
definitely. 100%.
Very hard to break down. But like
they're,
you say,
they're very organized. They're very organized side.
No,
you know what I mean? But it's just they just only got. That's why they probably one of the teams that scored the least amount of goals. Put it this way, Haaland has more goals than the whole of the squad put together.
Yeah, it's terrible. Isn't it?
So that tells you that they have issues when it comes to the attacking third.
Yeah.
We'll move on to quickly. Fulham 2, Southampton 1. Fulham moving again. Goals by.
Well, there was an own goal by James Ward-Prowse, and then he redeemed himself.
Then he redeemed himself. Then João Palhinha and then Alexander Mitrovic getting the penalty in the 96th minute, winning that game 2-1.
And he missed it.
Southampton. Yeah. Sorry, he missed it. Yeah, sorry, he missed it. Yeah, he missed it.
I couldn't believe that.
But the first goal. Who scored the first goal there? It was Fulham, though.
Fulham
scored the first goal.
It was an own goal by.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. What am I talking about?
And then he redeemed himself.
That's right. Sorry about that.
The equaliser. So he scored twice, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, listen, Fulham. Southampton, mate. You know, holding up the Premier League right now.
Yeah, struggling.
Their manager struggling. I don't know what's going to happen with Southampton right now. I think they're on 13 points. You know, it's ridiculous what's going on with them right now. Do you know what I mean? We'll move on to Bournemouth.
They're on 12 points now.
Is it 12? Wow.
12 points with a minus 17 goal difference, lad.
Wow. Mad.
Absolutely
stuff. Mad.
Yeah.
Bournemouth 0, Crystal Palace 2 in that game. And I think in that game, I think Andre Ayew scored in that game. Jordan Ayew, sorry. And I mean, to be honest, Bournemouth didn't really offer nothing.
No.
In that game, and then Eze, on the 36th minute scoring, didn't really offer nothing in that game. And
that's a player you man should look at, you know.
Who's that? Eze.
Yeah, because he's a man that wants to stay in London as well.
I like him. I like him a lot.
I do as well. But I think he's the kind of guy that will want to stay in London. I think his family is London based.
Yeah,
so
good player.
That'd be an ideal signing for you, man. Yeah, good player.
Very good player.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll move on to Newcastle playing at home to Leeds. That was I don't know if you want to call it a ball draw 0-0. I didn't watch the game, but that game ended up 0-0. Now, you thought that Newcastle would be massive favourites to win this game.
Just to wipe them aside, isn't it?
Yeah. To let them win this game. So, and somebody was saying that, you know, when Newcastle then come over, they had to change their game style because at home you would expect Newcastle to be full out attack, but for whatever reason they couldn't break down Leeds, and Leeds done well to hold that for a point. You know, especially after coming off a beating from Man City and then having to then go to Newcastle, who's one of the informed teams there. But that game ends up 0-0. Then we move on to Man City. Ireland scoring that game, but what a goal by Demarai Gray! Probably one of the goals of the season, mate. I saw the highlight. saw the highlights of that game. But you're thinking Everton going to Man City, you thought there's only one winger. And I know, D, you picked this as one of your predictions.
Was it? This was? Oh, yeah, it's one of my games, wasn't it? Yeah.
I think you had
my games.
I think
2-0, right?
No, I think 3-0. I think you
3-0 was it?
Did you go? I think you went 3-0. I can't remember. I think
Maybe,
you went 3-0.
yeah, I can't remember now. Yeah,
but you would have thought that was a definite one that you were going to get at least a point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, Demari Gray in the 64th minute, getting what I call the guy was falling over. He got back up and bagged it top bins.
Yeah.
In the 64th
great
minute,
goal.
and
Great goal.
then you think to yourself, right, hold on. And I remember driving back. I was going on the way back home, and my daughter was in the car, and obviously we was we driving to Kent. I can't remember, and at that point where it was 1-1, and when it had gone into injury time, my daughter said to me, that should be it. Everton have got the draw. I said, listen, we don't even know what the added time is. You can't. I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Man City scored. And then when they said the injury time, I'm thinking, I think it was 11 minutes injury time.
Probably like the World Cup, isn't it?
The World Cup.
Yeah. That's World Cup injury time, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, they go and put on this kind of display, coming up with a fantastic result to go to Man City and come away, with a 1-1 draw. You're thinking, well done, Frank. You know what I mean? But then look what happens. At home to Brentford, losing 4-1. You know what I mean? Yeah. Frank, he's walking a tightrope right now.
Yeah, man. Shoestring.
Yeah. What's it here? Junior's saying, just looking at the table, only 10 points separating teams from position 11 to 20. That half of us looking very strange indeed. Listen, things can change. Yeah, things can absolutely change. No doubt about that.
And I think you're going to find, Norman, that a team is going to get relegated because of their goal difference is so poor, rather than points.
Points,
That's how you're going to see someone go down and be like, rah, they only went down because of their goal difference being so bad.
Yeah. So you've got all these like individual battles going on.
Different
segments of the table. So it's this one to look at. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's really going to get really interesting. Whether Southampton can drag themselves out of that, I don't know. I mean, 12 points, goal difference of -17. They're going to have to find some form somewhere. Do you know what I mean? It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Well, to be honest with you, we got Forest a -22, Wolves a -16, Southampton -17. So all those three. The only other team that's got a worse goal difference than the bottom two is Bournemouth with -21, and they're in 15th spot. But so I'm saying someone's going to get tripped up because of that bad goal difference.
Yeah, I think the only reason why Bournemouth are where they are is when the manager came in for the first few games.
Yeah,
after getting slapped up by Liverpool, I think it was 7-1 or 8-1. They got slapped up 7-1, I think. Then Bournemouth went on an unbeaten run of about 3 or 4 games. Won a couple of games, a couple of draws. So that's kind of kept them out of the relegation zone for now.
16, literally 16 points, barely staying above. But those goal differences are shocking, man.
Absolutely.
Watching double figures, you got to put same as Everton. I mean, Everton are -10 of 15. So one loss and those 2 pick-up draws, Everton's right back.
Well, and Everton are on 14. Are they on 14 points or 15?
15 points.
Right. Okay.
In 16th, just above, and they've played a game more than the 4 below them. So they played 18, and the 4 below them have played 17 games. So at any given moment, 2 of them teams, if Forest and West Ham win the next game, they both leapfrog Everton. It's mad. It's outside.
That's crazy. Yeah,
very tight down there. Junior's right. Very tight down there.
Very tight, man. Squeaky bum times, man.
I think,
but anyway,
that's how I like it, though. Norman. I like I like the season to be tight on both ends of the league because every game
it really exciting.
Really is a cup game. Every game is a cup game from now on. So
definitely. We moved to the Brighton Arsenal game, and now Brighton's notorious one of our bogey teams. We don't often do too well down there, but mate, I'll tell you what, we pretty much came out there out the blocks literally within 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah.
Saka doing the business, scoring in 2 minutes. Then another fine goal by Martin Odegaard, making it 2-0.
Yeah.
And then Eddie Nketiah. Man like Eddie. You know what I mean? And I think he'd scored 2 in 2.
Yeah.
You know, because he scored in the game before that. And then he comes in this game and gets a goal in the 47th minute.
Yeah.
But, you know, with all of this, Martin Odegaard, what a game. What a fantastic game. The pass for the fourth goal to Martinelli, world class, absolutely world class pass by Martinelli, and he's the one that's pulling the strings. He got man of the match in that game, but then we had a few scary moments. You know, Brighton pulling it back, making it. I think it was 3-1, and then I think we made it 4-2. Now that Mitoma, is it Koro or Mitoma? Very good player,
Mitoma,
young player. I don't know where they find these gems from, but he's a very good player. He scores in the 65th minute, making it 3-1. And this is before, obviously, the Martinelli goal. And then we bring it back to 4-1. And then Evan Ferguson gets a second goal. And then they had a goal ruled off. Mitoma's goal was ruled out of offside. Thank God for that, because then you're thinking, oh my God, 89th minute, you know, 4-3, what's going to happen there? Do you know what I'm trying to say? But we came through, and listen, we deserved it. We deserved the win. Absolutely. Let's see, what's this here? Let's just go to here. Craig is saying Fernandes from Benfica will not be joining Chelsea in January.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And I think we talked about it earlier on that
this is Enzo, right?
Yeah, Enzo.
Enzo.
Yeah. They're not willing to pay that full payout clause and that. I think with any, you know what my worry is now, and Craig, you might agree with this, is that if they're not going to go for this Enzo now, they're going to turn their attentions to Luka. I keep saying Luka Modric, to Mihajlo Modric, from Shakhtar, and they are willing to cough up the money and pay the asking price. You know, 85 to that, and blow us out the water. But I think there'll be a structured payment. So I think they will pay 60 million up front with 20 million add-ons. We've had a second bid. Obviously, we've had a second bid rejected. So we're still in talks, but now it looks like Chelsea's representatives were also talking with Luka Modric. I keep saying Luka Modric, talking with they're talking with him now. So you know, and he's still twerking, you know, sending out Instagram stories of two great managers in the Brighton game. He was doing that, so he's twerking out. He wants to play for Arsenal, and I suppose, is it down to the player? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? You know, if a player wants to go to a specific team, I don't know if he's an Arsenal support or not.
Right.
It's not. Is it as straightforward as if Chelsea came in and said, right, we're going to pay Shakhtar the money? Does that mean then Modric would have to move to that club, or could he say no? I don't want to go. Is there a thing where you say no? I want to go to the club of my choice. What is there? Could there be a bottleneck thing here?
Yeah,
an impasse or anything? like that?
This is what I fear, is that if the player's got Arsenal on his mind, and the thing is, if I'm Chelsea and I know the player's got Arsenal on his mind, I'm not buying him. I'm pulling out of that deal, because he's going to come to Chelsea and not perform. If he wants to go to Arsenal, then the club have got to look at that and say, you know what? Okay, Chelsea are offering more, but me as Chelsea saying, if this kid keeps twerking and putting out Arsenal videos, then because the fans will turn on him straight away. The moment he don't perform for Chelsea, then fans will watch him at Stamford Bridge. So him himself and his agent have got to have a sit down and say, right, do we stop posting? Do we go with the better offer? That way it helps the club out. Or do we hold out for Arsenal and say, go and play where you really want to go? And
Yeah.
I'm actually all for that. Go and play where you really want to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And as I said,
it's
Arsenal,
tough one.
we need to sort it out quick. As I said, we're linked with Joao Felix, but again, the what Atletico want, you know what I mean, it's just a bit too much, you know, for a 6-month thing
Extortionate, mate.
with no obligation to buy. You know, there's no option. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So,
So,
it's, you know, I mean,
if he comes to you and he hits the ground running, in the summer he's gone, and for that privilege, it's cost you 21 million. That's just like hold on. That doesn't make any sense to me. And I think that's why now United are gone a bit cold on that, because they're saying, hold on, so we're going to pay everything, pay all the money, pay all that big wages, and then in the summer he get back on the plane back to them anyway. And by then Ten Hag might have got him settled into our team. Arteta might have got him settled into your team.
Yeah.
And now Jesus comes back, and Jesus has got to fight against Felix now to get his place back. And that only betters you as a team and a squad.
Absolutely.
But if you know that come the 31st of July or whatever it is, he's back on a plane back home, that makes no sense. Up to that shell out. That's a lot of money. You might as well go for a player that you know you can keep. And so it wouldn't surprise me that whether either United and Arsenal just walk away from Felix, because that's a lot of money they want. I think they're over greedy, because he's not happy there. He's unsettled. He's fallen out with the manager, and I don't know if he's got much left. I don't know how the contract works with him. I can't remember what he's got left on his contract. But that deal is only going to be a 6-month loan deal.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how long he's got left on his contract. I don't know.
Yeah, if anyone knows that in the chat.
I don't. Yeah, if anybody knows, please put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yes, Chili. Sorry, I missed the
Man,
show.
like Chili dog.
That's right, Chili, because we're gonna rip. He just comes on time. So
time, innit?
D. The next game, would you believe it or not, is Tottenham 0.
West Ham 2. Aston Villa 2. Great timing, Chili.
Great timing, Chili. Great timing. Explain yourself, brother. Explain yourself. Second half team, you're thinking, come on. Listen, because obviously we know Tottenham are notorious for conceding the first goal, and then they come good second half.
Yeah.
They done well for the first half, didn't concede, and literally Aston Villa ripped them to shreds second half. I mean, to the point where sorry to cut you there, D, but to the point where Son, there was a point where Son miscontrolled the ball, and I think he was trying to blame it on his mask. He took his mask and threw it off.
What's going on with him, Norm? We were robbed.
We was robbed.
No, but what's going on with Son, though, Chili? What's going on with Son?
I don't know. Chili, please explain. What is going on?
And is Harry Kane having a World Cup whatever
hangover.
It is, hangover, yeah. It's
Mate,
shocking. I was watching Ez last night. I watched Expressions last night, and he calls them Tottenham half Spurs because he goes, they're half a game.
Big up,
Anne-Marie, how you doing?
Yeah,
good.
Man.
Yeah, but
so what you say? So what you say there? Yeah, so you say D.
Yeah. Expressions calls them Tottenham half Spurs because he goes, they only shot for one half every game now. And he's a hardcore supporter, and the fans are always coming at him for his, he said that, everyone is to blame. You can't just blame it on Conte. You got to blame it on the whole setup. The players know how Conte wants to play. Yeah. Right? He likes to counter attack and sit deep and counter attack. So you play what the gaffer wants. He's not going to change. Yeah. And if you look at it, they probably should go to a 3-5-2 or something like that. I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, and Conte, obviously he's coming out and saying things with regards to, about, I can't, compete against teams that are, got bazookas for their ammunition, and we're just carrying a little handgun. So he's obviously making a point to the owners. He's saying, look, if we are to compete every year, we need to be buying at least a 50 to 60 million pound player. Yeah, 50 to 60 million pound player. 2 players every season. Yeah. Right now, he's saying that, Tottenham won't compete for like trophies or things like that. They're that's the words he's come out with. I'm you know what I mean.
Oh,
I'm not going to give it quote for quote, but he's saying that in order for us, he says if they're going to go down this route of bringing in young players, because he wants players that are already developed, because that's what he wants. You can see Jed Spence is taking a hit on that right now, because he came on for the last. What do you mean Conte never said that? I can find it. Well, what did he say then? I read it in the quote, mate. Yeah, if I can find
Chile.
So what is he saying then, Chile? What is he saying? What is he saying then?
He's saying they scored in the last game, but the last game was the 2-0 loss against Villa, right?
Yeah.
On the 1st of January. They ain't played since. So how could he have scored in the last game, bro? Unless they played in the cup. Did they play in the cup? Was there a cup game between the 1st and today and the 4th? Surely not.
So the last game would be the Aston Villa game.
Aston Villa game. So he didn't score last game.
Let me just say this. For the first 20 minutes of that game, Kane only had one touch. First 20 minutes of that game. Yeah. And I was like, what's going on?
Chile, you've got to be concerned for Kane and for Son. Your true talisman. You got to be scored. He scored on Boxing Day.
He scored Boxing Day.
That wasn't the last game. The last game was the 1st of January, brother. Sunday the 1st, 2-0 to Aston Villa. Chat about. Come on, Chile, get your phone out, mate. Man
is hanging on for desperation right now.
Boxing Day, I was still on my cruise on Boxing Day, Bridget. We had chat about.
But listening, Aston Villa just ripped them in the second half, mate. And the thing is, the Sky, the Sky do like this prediction thing, and they were saying that they can see Aston Villa winning this game, and they were right, and the game where the game that Chile is talking about is when they drew with Brentford.
Boxing Day.
Yeah. So you're thinking to yourself, you know what I mean?
But it's a whole game. He missed out conveniently missed out a whole game,
Okay,
I meant the last game
before Villa. Yeah, which would have been the Brentford game.
Yeah, man. Your last game was on Sunday, the 1st of January, Bridget.
Yeah. All right. Tonight's Prem fixtures is obviously Palace v Tottenham, Southampton v Forest, Leeds v West Ham, and Villa v Wolves.
Palace, that's a must-win, Norm, for them.
Yeah.
Imagine, Norm, Palace, imagine. I bumped into a BT engineer that I used to work with, one of our jointers. I ain't seen him in 22 years. He recognised me on the ship. Hardcore Palace fan.
Wow.
And I was just walking with my breakfast to find Sheena. And I got to the table, and he was guy behind me. I looked at him. He went, Delaware, right? I'll be like, yeah. And he's like, Keith, Marshall, Jointer, Croydon. I'll be like, bro, like I ain't seen you in 22. Because remember, I left Croydon and went to Crayford for my last year and a half, 2 years. Then I went to St. Lucia. So I was just, had a good catch with him, man. But still supporting Palace, hardcore Palace fan.
Yeah,
man.
I mean, it's gonna. I mean, listen. I mean, I don't know what. I think Tottenham have got a good record at Crystal Palace, but coming off the back of that 2-0 loss at home, you just don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen there? So we'll just have to watch this space. But they should be, if they haven't kicked off already, should be kicking off pretty soon.
It's an 8 o'clock kickoff for that one.
It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, right?
Chile, that's a must-win for you, guy. And Kane needs to score. Yeah. So there's no pressure there, bro.
No pressure.
Yeah,
it's gonna be raucous. It's gonna be raucous tonight. It's gonna be raucous tonight down at the Palace, and then we'll move on to Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 1. Obviously, Chelsea scoring the first goal, and you expect Chelsea to go to Nottingham Forest and do the business, but they end up drawing that game. And I said only Ez can really talk about his team. He obviously wasn't a happy bunny, and I thought he would have been on the show tonight to express, because I wanted to get a clip.
How happy he was.
I wanted to get a clip of Ez saying how he thought that Potter is the man, and that. Well, when I listened to his voice message, if I could find his voice message, it was a total different turnaround. It was this time it was flipped. He was not happy. He was not happy. If I could find a clip of him. Talking about how well Potter is the man for Chelsea, but after listening to that voice message the other day after this game, Ez was not a happy bunny at all.
Happy, no.
Raheem Sterling scoring in the 16th minute, 60th minute.
Shillings, innit?
Yeah, Shillings, man. And
Raheem
again, it was
Shillings.
a kind of a bit of a crazy ball because I think Willy Bolly kind of flicked it up in the air. It hit the crossbar. And Sterling was there to just volley in to the back of the net. And then in the 63rd minute, Serge Aurier. Remember Serge Aurier used to play for Tottenham?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Is now playing at Nottingham Forest. Assist by Willy Bolly. Scoring in the 63rd minute, and literally that was really pretty much it. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang had a big chance, missed that, but 1-1.
What's going on with him, bro? What's going on with him?
He's pretty much. I mean,
it's almost like football has become a hobby for him.
He's just fallen off the perch, man. He's just fallen
it's like a hobby
off his perch.
He's on good money as well.
Yeah, he's on good money, but he's just pretty much fallen off the cliff right now. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I don't know. I just feel sorry for him right now. I really do feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's let himself down there,
and it is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, so Brentford will move because these are the current games now that was played. So Kofi was not a happy bunny. Brentford 3. So this is going into game week 19. Brentford 3.
Yeah, Monday the 2nd.
Liverpool, Liverpool 1. How many chances does Nunes need, to score a goal?
Now, Norm, you'll remember this. We're going way back to the start of the season, and I was running cold for the joke about noodles.
The noodles,
because he always feels like he's overthinking things. Like, noodles don't stay on your plate, don't stay on your fork. You know what I mean? So I've been running this in Noodles We Trust. So I'm having Liverpool fans in one of my football fantasies coming at me saying I'm trolling. I'll be like, no, go back to What's Going On podcast, Nomsky TV from August, and you're going to see me calling him Darwin Noodles and saying to Kofi, the Liverpool fan, get the T-shirt printed in Noodles We Trust. I've been saying it for months. So because I said it in the chat this week, I'm getting cooked by Liverpool fans saying I'm trolling. I'm like, nah. I said, Van Dijk hasn't looked the same since the injury. So I called him Virgil Van Disney because he looks like Bambi on ice. Right? And I said, listen, man. And that's for Mo Salah. He's not eating enough salad. So that's why he ain't scoring. So I've been cooking them because the way they cooked me about Ollie, I'm cooking them now in their bit of misery. And they got to take it. Simple as that.
I mean, listen, if it wasn't for VAR, Brentford could have been 4-0 up in that game.
Mm-hmm.
It was absolutely crazy. And then Jay, obviously Jay was not happy, and she really wanted Newcastle. She really wanted Newcastle to batter us yesterday after I was laughing at their score. And listen, Brentford wanted it more. There was in the second half there was a 20-minute spell where they soaked up the pressure, and in the end, Mbongo making it 3-1. Some people, Klopp has come out and was saying that, the referee decision, he's blaming it on the referee. This time it's not the grass. It's not the grass was too dry or too long, or the wind, or whatever it is. Do you know what I'm saying?
Or the weight of the football holding the water. You know what? But this is the thing, right?
Big up Scott, man. What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, Scott, what are you saying? This is Scott from abroad, isn't it, Norm?
Yeah, Scott from New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah, man. Big up yourself, Scott.
I hate to know what time it is over there, but yeah, big up to you, brother.
But you know what? Brentford Community Stadium is a hard place to go. You remember how they dealt with us, but at least they dealt with us with their talisman. There was no Ivan Toney.
There was no Ivan Toney.
We got trapped by them with Ivan Toney. You know that once?
Yeah. And I said,
I wanted Ivan Toney, Norm.
I said to my missus, I said to Kofi, you're lucky now that Ivan Toney is going to miss that game. Because there was rumours that he was going to be back for the game, because people were saying he got stretchered off. He was, on a stretcher, cried his eyes out, and now there's a possibility that he could be back for the game. I think he will be back for the cup game. I think if they're still in the cup, so I think he might be back for that.
Because I think initially, Norm, I think even he feared it was worse than what it was. Yeah, that's why he was barling, because he thought his season was done and he's going to get banned anyway. You know the one. So he was envisioning a double whammy.
Yeah. Totally agree, Scott. I mean, when they're going to pull that trigger, I think what will probably happen, Scott, is that they'll sack him. He will end up going to West Ham, and Moyes will end up going to Everton.
Can you imagine? Yeah, back to Everton. Yeah. And I look at David Moyes and I say he probably never have let Addison talk him into that Man United job, because he was doing really well at Everton. I was talking about that today. He was doing really well at Everton, and then it all just went horribly wrong for him since then. Because he's been fired twice since the Man United job.
That's right.
Well, Man United job, and then he went to Spain, right? Got fired in Spain, and then he came to West Ham, I think. So if he gets fired from West Ham, that's 3 times he's been fired.
Yeah.
After taking the United game when he was pretty much safe at Everton.
Junior saying that there's paper talk about Bellingham coming to. We know that, there's a chance that Bellingham will leave Dortmund, and it's what Premier team is going to come to. Liverpool apparently are the favourites to get him because he's a Liverpool supporter, but I'm sure Man City will be there looking. He's obviously his ex-teammate Haaland will be maybe whispering in his ear. There's a number of teams. Obviously, you've got like Real Madrid as well, possibly as a destination. So we're just going to have to watch this space. I think the summer transfer window is going to be massive, absolutely massive, and some money is going to be spent. You know what I mean?
But this is the problem, though, right? Liverpool are 16 points behind you, man. 16, Norm.
Yep.
Right? He's not coming to Liverpool without playing Champions League football. Fact. And if he ain't going to Liverpool, I don't think he goes anywhere else. I think he goes to Real Madrid. This is Bellingham. Yeah. But if Liverpool's in his heart, they gotta start winning some games and get back.
They've got to start winning some games.
He's not going to leave them to come and play.
No,
Europa
and we know their problem. We know their problem is that Liverpool's midfield ain't all that now. You can see they are slowing. What's that? I'm not happy with Man United form.
Yes, Scott, I hear you, bro. I hear you, man. I hear you, man. I can take that.
They are on a bit of a run right now. So we just got to watch them. They're 9 points behind us on the same amount of games. Obviously, we've got a better goal difference. So, listen, they've got a couple of tricky games. They've got a couple of tricky games. They've got the Manchester derby. So we'll see what go on in 2 weeks' time. We'll see what go on in 2 weeks' time.
I think it's a good time to play City.
Absolutely. I think you could beat them.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit out to sea. I'm not saying we're going to slap them, but I think it could be an interesting game.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you're more confident now. I think you're more confident now going into that game.
Yeah, when we played them before. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Don't you
want to talk about the other games? No, we want to focus. So let me just say this here quickly. We'll move on quickly. So listen. Liverpool got cooked. They got cooked. Yeah, they got cooked. Salah, what's happened to Mo Salah? I have no idea. Darwin Núñez.
I keep saying this. He's missing.
How many chances does this guy need? How many chances? The chance that he does put away is offside.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What's Chile saying? United ain't beating City. That's
fair enough, Chile. That's fair enough, But you have to admit that City are a bit outsourced. But then it's a Manchester derby. You can never really predict a Manchester derby, because you have to remember we went there twice under Ollie and beat them at the Etihad.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna just say it's City and we're gonna get slapped. If we get slapped, so be it. But I think you're gonna see a completely different team to what you saw last night.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's not playing that back four against City. I know that. I know that much. Maybe Luke Shaw, but the other three, not convinced that they start against City.
You get that. You get Martinez back in there and get
Varane and Delort. Hopefully, I don't know. Well, Delort now got to fight for his spot because
Wan-Bissaka's playing quite well at the moment.
So I can't not Wan-Bissaka. Probably stop going to the burger bar and thing and just get about his game in it. Once. Yeah,
Scott. With regards to that Newcastle result last night, it was very frustrating. But listen, I'll take a point. We didn't lose the game. That's the main thing. As I said, two of those we should have two blatant penalties, handball, and the shirt tug from. And I don't know. And we just say we're going to discuss ref watch the shirt tug from, I think it was Dan Burn on Gabriel Mangali's. That's 100% penalty. 100%. Yeah. And why did VAR go back and look at it?
I'm about to say, at any point did he go to look at it?
No.
Yeah.
Was
it's not good, is it? That's no good.
Ridiculous. Absolutely
You
ridiculous.
have to go and check it with that much uproar in a game.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I lost count about yellow cards in that game. I think there's got to be somebody sent off. Yeah,
was it 8 or 9? 8 or 9, wasn't
it? It was absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. But yeah,
the referee made about him, unfortunately.
Jay's saying we need to move on from that. But listen, at the end of the day, Jay, I don't know if you would agree with me, but they were saying Klopp was not happy with the push on Konate. Now, for me, look at the size of Konate and look at the size of Mbomo. Yeah, like little and large, mate. I'm telling you, my man went down too. He went down too easy. That was never ever a foul.
It went down like he got shot. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Went down like he got shot. Come on, man.
Never ever a foul. But listen, Liverpool can't continue playing like this. They need to get. I mean, listen. In terms of they got Gakpo. I don't know when I think there's a situation where I don't know with the registration thing. I've sorted the code for you. Saying, I think that they need to
But no.
Yeah.
Did they need Gakpo? They need
they need midfield. They need a midfield.
And you're diving in for Gakpo. I don't get it. I don't get, like, Klopp clearly. He's probably not got to say about this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's what it seems like, because you, like, us looking in, we all know that Liverpool need 2 midfielders, and then they go and buy a winger. Yeah. And I'm thinking, what am I missing here with Liverpool? I don't know, man. It's mad. I mean, should I care? Probably not. But you got to look at it and say, dude, do you not want to compete or not? Why are you buying Gakpo when you need a? I don't know what midfielders they've been looking at, but what they've got currently is.
I mean, he thinks that Klopp doesn't think we need a midfield, or well, say we, not the royal we. He doesn't feel that a midfield is required at this moment. Wow. I mean, listen, they've got enough attacking players. Obviously, Luis Diaz, he's out till March.
He's out for the season,
Jota, he's going to come back. So they've got plenty of attacking players. And now I'm hearing that Virgil van Dijk might be out for 2 weeks with a hamstring.
Bambi on ice.
Bambi on ice, brother. Van Diesel, as you call it. Yeah. Liverpool,
and you know what? He should have sued. What's his name? That goalkeeper, Everton goalkeeper, England goalkeeper. I forget his name now. It's always going out of my head.
Pickford.
He should have sued him. It was Pickford that injured him, wasn't it? Yeah. You should have sued him, because I feel like he's wrecked his career, because he don't trust it. He don't trust that leg. You can see it, and the way Liverpool used to push up and squeeze, he's not doing that, because he's getting skint over the top.
Yeah,
I've watched it a few times. I watched him a few times, and I'm like. And this reminded me of Luke Shaw, when Luke Shaw snapped his leg. He just didn't trust it for maybe 2 or 3 seasons. You can see that this kid don't trust his leg. And I'm seeing that with Virgil a little bit, that he don't trust his leg. And that's a bad way mentally to be in, that, you're fit playing, but you're always cautious about the leg. And I feel like it makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Jay seems to think that we won't miss Van Dijk. I keep saying like I support Liverpool. I mean... It's only because she's my missus, you know what I mean? But listen, let's quickly move on. Everton 1, Brighton 4. After getting a drubbing from us, they go and Julie go and drub Everton. As I said, Frank Lampard is walking a tightrope. And as I said, we'll just see what happens. Whether he'll be up for, definitely favourite for sacking.
This brother, Norman, Solly Mark.
Yeah,
this guy seems to be getting goals, mate.
Yeah, well, I'm just looking.
I never really heard of him like that, but then he's just been on the radar for the last couple of months. I'm saying, who is this kid? He seems to be getting his fair share of goals.
This Matoma guy, I like this player. As I said, he scores the first goal in the 14th minute.
Yeah,
and then
he's young as well, isn't he?
This is the thing, yeah. After it was 1-0 to Brighton, yeah. We go to the second half, okay? They've scored. This is how bad Everton are. 51st minute, 54th minute, and 57th minute.
Terrible defending.
6 minutes, 3 goals.
It's almost like they're down tools in them 6 minutes.
Yeah. And, they get a consolation penalty in the 92nd minute of injury time.
Yeah, you're right.
The defending was atrocious, D. The defending was atrocious, mate.
Yeah.
Absolutely
And
atrocious.
is that on Frank or is that on the team?
Ooh. You'd have to. I heard that there was an injury there. I don't know.
Man, he was balling in Aubergine.
Wow.
Yeah, man, he was wailing. You could tell he was in. He tried to run it off, and you could see. I mean, it's quite dramatical. Obviously, he was quite emotional and everything, but I think he was in a bit of shock, as well, because the knee went back, Norm. In slow motion, it looked horrible in slow motion.
I don't know.
And I'm just like, I think he's done for the season. I'll be very shocked to see him again this season.
Yeah.
I kind of feel sorry for Don.
I heard about it. I didn't realize how serious it was, but wow.
Scott, it was a horrible one. And the thing is, the tackle wasn't that bad. The guy slipped. It wasn't a vicious tackle.
Okay.
But the way his knee went backwards and all, it's like, yow. I felt sick when I saw it. I went, whoa. And it had me feeling a bit queasy. I said, nah, Donny done his knee bad there. You're not supposed to do that.
There's something in the water on the Mersey. Okay, let's quickly. Leicester 0, Fulham 1. Mitrovic getting that goal in that game.
My man Mitch.
Leicester. My man Mitch. I'd probably take him at Arsenal just for a plan B, because yesterday against Newcastle. Against Newcastle, we just didn't have a plan B. We just did not have a plan B. And someone like Mitrovic,
he's a handful. He can hold the ball up. He can score.
Yeah.
So when he's holding up, he's bringing people into play. Your likes of Martinelli and Saka.
Yeah.
I think I said that I would take him, but I know that Fulham are going to rip you off in January. I know.
Definitely. You're
going to get
he ain't going to go cheap. And that was an assist from Willian. I'm just kind of moving quick because I know that I've got to be out this place in 7 minutes, so I'm moving as quick as possible. As I said, we talked about Arsenal 0, Newcastle 0, frustrating game. 2 penalties denied us, but at the end of the day, we need players that are going to be able to break them. We needed a plan B. We didn't have a plan B. Manchester United winning at home, you'd expect that against Bournemouth. Rashford again getting on the score sheet. Shaw,
Marcus,
Shaw on the score sheet.
Roberto Carlos, mate.
And Casemiro,
bro,
one of the best
midfield in the league, mate.
Right now,
best midfield in the league right now.
I mean,
I
suppose
both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, and I'll say that Thomas Partey is not too far behind him.
Yeah, him and Partey.
Not too far behind him. So we're just going to quickly move on. Yeah. So, as you well know, today the games have started. Southampton are playing Nottingham Forest. It's currently 0-0. And Leeds West Ham is currently 0-0 after 8 minutes. The other 2 games, Aston Villa and Wolves, kick off at 8 o'clock.
You got Chilly's boys.
Chilly's boys. So, Chilly, you better be praying, bro. You better
away
be praying.
From home, Chilly.
You're going to be praying. So that is sort of the game. So what we're going to do, is we've kind of covered the transfer rumors in terms of what our players need and stuff like that. The situation with Conte trying to getting some players, because he doesn't feel that the team is good enough at the moment to compete.
No, far from it.
It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the busiest in the transfer window. I know Chelsea are looking to be very busy. Not in the Forest, I think they're looking to get rid of a couple of players and go into the market again. I would say summer they brought in 22 players.
It's too much, isn't it?
Too much. Too much.
Way too many players to bring in.
Let's just quickly move on to just quickly, guys, put it in the chat. Who do you think is going to miss out on the top 4? Who do you think is going to miss out on the top 4? Put it in the chat. And who do you think is going to miss out on the top 4 now? With the current, listen, the league is there's still a way to go, but who's likely to miss out on the top 4? Currently, as it stands, you've got Arsenal, Man City, Newcastle, and Man United currently, with Liverpool, Tottenham sitting out there. Tottenham, Chelsea, who are sitting currently in 9th place. So who, at the end of the season, will be your top 4 then? Let's put it that way. Put it in the chat. Who's going to be the top 4? It doesn't mean it have to be in any specific order. So Jay's saying Chelsea. Who do you think, D? is going to miss out, and who do you think
definitely
is gonna
Chelsea.
be?
Yeah. Because they are way off, man. Chelsea are 10 points behind us, Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scott is saying Chelsea.
Tottenham. If Tottenham win tonight, they go. They'll play the game more than us, and they'll still be 2 points behind us.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got game in hand.
Yeah,
they're currently 14 points behind us at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Calls welcome to the chat, man. Hopeful Spurs will miss out on top 4.
Yeah.
So I would say, in no particular order, Man City. This is in who will make the top 4: Man City, Man United, Arsenal. Newcastle.
So you think is that a Newcastle and Tottenham
Liverpool.
or Newcastle and Liverpool?
Newcastle and Liverpool.
Yeah, I still wouldn't count out Liverpool. I think you're right. I will go with what you just said there as well, Norm.
Yeah.
I think that Newcastle and Liverpool fight out that 4th spot.
That out, definitely.
Because I think there's going to be a point where Liverpool, where Newcastle are going to fade, and Liverpool.
So Scott has got City, Arsenal, Newcastle, and Spurs.
Spurs, bro.
Craig has got
Eric. We trust, That's why he wants Eric out. That's why Craig. That's why Scott wants Eric out, because he knows.
Yeah. If Arsenal beat Newcastle last night, Chelsea would be 21 points behind Arsenal. Wow.
Imagine. Yeah.
Chile going to watch the game now. Chile's going to watch the game now. We'll start.
In Harry we trust, Chile. In Harry we trust.
In Harry we trust.
You told me it's the Gungargan, so we'll see.
Right. So listen, and I suppose let's just quickly move on to this last bit, and then we'll do the prediction table just to say where you're at and that. We've already done game week 16, and we're going to be doing we've already done game week 17. So we'll talk about game week 17 next week, because obviously we'd have predicted this current set of games.
Forest just scored, mate.
Oh my gosh.
Forest just scored 1-0 Forest. Southampton in the mud right now.
Yeah, I predicted Southampton 2, Forest 0, but mate, I'm losing out this week. Yeah, and just quickly, we did touch this about Ronaldo breaking records at his new club.
Yeah.
Listen, you can break whatever record you want. Yeah,
man. He said he's done all he needs to do in Europe.
It's probably going to be vinyl records. Yeah. Because he's known as the Billy. He's not the GOAT, he's the Billy. Yeah? Right.
The Billy GOAT, innit? Literally.
He's the Billy.
I'm not even going to call him the Curry GOAT, because I love a Curry GOAT.
All right, so Scott is saying I will change out United for Spurs.
Okay, Scott. Listen, Scott, don't let me influence you in any way, my brother.
So listen. I'm going to now just share with you the prediction league table. Now, D, you haven't been doing too well in the past couple of weeks.
I've been having that.
Chile is 8 points, currently 8 points behind you.
I'm not seeing it. No.
Sorry.
Is it up?
Yeah, it's up. Yeah.
I can't see it for some reason.
You can't see it? I'm sharing it.
I can't see it. That's weird.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I've just got I can see me and you to the left. And then just what's going on logo. I can't see the league at all.
Oh, is it come up?
No, well, not on my side anyway. I mean, the guys in the chat, can you see it in the chat?
Guys, can you see the Premier League prediction table in the chat?
All right, Scott. Have a good one, mate.
Yeah. If you let us know, people, can you see it? But if not, if you can't see it, because it's coming up on mine, we can't see it. Oh, we can't see it. That's a bit of a strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, let me I don't know what's happened there. That's strange. Hold on 2 seconds. I'll do this one more time quickly.
Yeah.
Can you see that now?
Yeah, there we go. It's there. There we go. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. So as you can see, D's still on 20 points. He's for the last 2 games. He's missing out
back-to-back losses, boy.
Yeah, back-to-back losses. Chile didn't score in the last game. He's on 12 points. But we've obviously got this new set of predictions that we've done for game week 17. So we will add those scores onto next week's show. So that might change a little bit. Ez is on 10 points, Kofi's on 8, and I'm still in Europa League position on 7 points. But I have managed to get 2 games right. But tonight it's looking like I might miss out on the Southampton Nottingham Forest game because they're currently winning 1-0 Nottingham Forest. I did predict 2-0. So we'll see what happened. I know, D, you predicted Villa to win 2-0 against Wolves, yeah?
Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah,
so at the moment. Yeah. So it's hopefully there now. 9 a.m. Thursday, literally from the culture to catch it later. Listen, Scott, take it care, man. Thank you very much.
We
know about that, Chile. We know about that. But listen, D, I have to go. Man. My sister has given me the high. Like cool. They're both born in the same month. My sister and Jack's in June, so they always give me the eye. they always give me the eye. But listen, guys, thank you again for being in the chat.
Appreciate you guys.
As I said, I'm doing the show from my dad's care home. I thought I'd just spend the day with him, and so I'm doing it from there. So big up to everybody. Please have him in prayers. Not through the woods yet, but listen, he's 95. And, we're just praying that God will just keep him as long as possible. So big up to everybody. Please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new. And we will see you hopefully on the next What's Going On podcast. Take care and God bless.